Hi guys, today I'm going to show you what are all the big mistakes the Windows 10 is having, and it was just a simple review which I have monitored while using the Windows 10 for about 5 days, and I'll show you what I have seen to you, and so that you can consider yourself whether to upgrade to the latest version or you can have the same old Windows 8 or Windows 7 operating system in your desktop. First of all, I will just show you the Edge browser. So Edge was blasting fast and we can browse almost all the latest websites, and more things can be done with the help of the Edge. And one of the option called the reading mode, it was quite impressive, which was designed by Microsoft. And when looking at the Edge, the Microsoft has developed it as a app and not a browser. For example, just going to show you I'm not having the internet connection here, and I will tell you the why and what's the reason behind it. First of all, I'm going to try to browse Google. So if you see here, it was going to directly to the network connections, but if you have a old internet browser like 9, 10 or 11 version of the Internet Explorer, it will actually tell you the page was having some other changes, so that you need to make changes in your local network settings, and it will directly go to the network and the internet settings page. And this is a new control panel which was developed by the Microsoft for the Windows 10, since it was using the continuum technology, which can be used both in desktop and the mobile. And this feature was quite good for the touch interfaces, that is a touch enabled PCs, mobiles and tablets. And it was directly going to the network and internet settings, and it was good, no issues in that. And I'm not having the internet connection, so it was a good option, so that we can directly go to the internet and you can just choose a new connection and you can just browse the web pages. But here you can see it was opening it as a application and not as a web browser, so most of the websites will not be compatible and we can't open. While I'm just browsing one of the website which I have, it was not even opening some of the images by default, and I need to make some more changes for opening the web page, just for displaying the images in that website. So if you see, and it was confirming that it was an application, that is the like metro application and like calendar application, which if you see here, like sports application. So it was acting as an application and not as a browser application. So this is one of the major disadvantage that the Edge browser is having, since it will not be compatible for most of the websites. And the next thing is the settings are quite amazing, because you can see a simple settings, you can change the theme and you can quite easily change the start page, favorites bar, and you can do some more settings here. And only the limited settings can be done in this settings page, and if you want to do a more settings stage, then you need to go to the internet options only. And that's all for Edge browser. And the next thing I will go for settings, that is a newly developed settings which was introduced by Microsoft. So if you see here, these are the settings which by default Microsoft is having for the touch enabled devices. You can also have the control panel options which you have by default in all the operating system, that is the Windows operating systems. And this is for the touch enabled devices. For example, if you want to go to the system, you can have a more and more options here, so that you can just use your touch monitor or touch devices to simply change with the help of your fingers. And you have most of the settings here that will be useful for you to change the things. But one of the major disadvantage here is whenever you are changing the settings, when the PC is utilizing more and more resources, at the time it was just simply hanging, and it was just freezing, and we can't able to do anything here. uh, like you can't able to, when you are running your antivirus scan, it was just freezing and you can't able to open some of the settings. If you see here, it was just waiting for some time and opening all the settings here. And I think this is one of the major disadvantage here, because I have disabled most of the settings here, so that it was quite fast enough to go to the most of the settings. Yeah, and here one of the advantage we have here is, if you just type Wi-Fi, you can just easily go to the Wi-Fi settings here. And this is one of the good settings which you have in this new settings application, that is a settings app which you have. And we can't able to say that it was an application, and it's just a app which Microsoft has developed for the touch enabled device, as I said earlier. And the next thing we can see is Cortana. Have just disabled the search bar. Yeah, if you see here, I'm not having the internet right now, so I'll just go to try to search some of the thing like songs. I'm just hitting enter. Yeah, right now if you see, since I'm not having the internet, it will go directly to the local system search. But if you see, I have most more drives here, but it was not searching for the songs. I have more and more songs here, but it is not by default searching for the songs. And you can also see that I have opened the file explorer, and when I came back, it was asking me again to search, and I'm not having any instant typing things like for the files which I have. So I'm just going to type Wi-Fi, and if you see here itself, you can go to the Wi-Fi settings. It will automatically open the settings here, and not like where you search in the settings app. Like I have typed the Wi-Fi and hit enter, and it came directly here. But when I type Wi-Fi here, it also came directly here. So both the Cortana and the settings are completely same. And when I try to search for some songs like Lenka songs, so if you see here, at least it needs to show something for the songs keyword, but it was not showing anything. And if you go to the file explorer, since it was not showing anything, and like I will type movies, since it was not showing anything, like most recent, most relevant, show all videos, at least music, so it was not showing anything. I'm not connected to the internet, so I can't able to search the OneDrive. It was going directly to the browser. I will So I can just go directly to the settings. So these are the things which are happening while searching in the Cortana, and Cortana was not fully finished in developing. Since it was in a developing stage, we can't able to say anything, and we need to have more and more changes which needs to be made in the Cortana. And exactly to say we need a better performance improvement here. And when going to the Cortana settings, you can have Cortana isn't supported in the region and language it is highlighted. And since I'm in India, it will actually not supporting for the Cortana search, but it was also not supporting to search my PC too, and it can only be search in the online, and we can only get the web results through the edge. Whenever you are typing and hitting enter to search the online stuffs in the Cortana, you can simply see the edge browser was opening, and it will not open any other browsers here. And these are the settings, these are the things which I have Cortana is having. And you can also see like so if you see here, I have just typed and again I have typed something here, and it just directly gone into the fading window, like it has opened here right now here. So if you see here, this part was dark and this part was again opening and searching some other things, and these are some of the glitches we are having. So it was searching something like movie, now it has searched something. So like this it was. Let's go directly to the C drive. So it was going directly to the C drive, and it was also opening the calculator and the apps which I have. So it was, there are some of the good stuffs by using the Cortana, but not most of the stuff, since we have some of the issues in the Cortana. And yeah, and the next thing we can see is the applications. So by default, we can see all the applications which are installed in the start menu in all apps. So you can see here the recently added thing. So you have a 3D builder, calculator, calendar, camera, contact support, view music, get started, to again get Skype. And this was just a browser link, and it was not actual Skype. It will ask for a download. You can see news, money, age, maps, and these are the things. You can also have OneNote. This was also a browser link which will ask for a download. People phone companion, by which you can use to sync your Android phones, Microsoft phones, etc., etc., and also the iPhone or iPad. So this is one of the new app which would be good for using your phones, that is syncing your data with the operating system, that is Windows 10 operating system. And these are the settings which you have in the apps. But what is the disadvantage here is you are not having good quality apps, that is you are only having the minimum quantity of apps. You need to go to the store for downloading all the apps. You need to have a Microsoft login for that to download all the apps, because whenever you are passing the login, it will ask for a confirmation, and it will just send your data to the Microsoft and check all the things, and after that only the applications, that is the apps, will be downloaded to your system. And one of the most interesting part which you have Microsoft has released is whenever you are downloading the apps by logging in into your account here, and when you are using the same account to login in into some other device which you have, that is the same Windows 10 device, and the apps will not be synced, and you need to freshly download all the apps. And you do have a alarm clock here you can set, and you can just do so many things with the help of the Windows 10 applications, and you're not having a good quality, and you're not having a more apps, and since it was in a developing stage, you need to wait for some time to get a more apps. And the next thing you can see is the drivers. So this is the most important part which you need to focus. I actually have a data card, that is a plug and serve, which I have installed. So for example, if you see, I have installed and the application was properly opening without any issue. And you can also have a confirmation here. So if we see here, the Reliance Net Connect Broadband Plus was installed, and it was all having the default files which I have, and it was also opening good. But one of the problem which I am facing is it was not installing the drivers, and each and every time when I'm rebooting the system, the drivers are not properly installed and it was not getting. And one of the most interesting thing which I'm going to show you is, if you see here, I can't able to see the Reliance Net Connect Plus application here. If you see here, you have Visual Studio, audio driver, and directly to the Power ISO. But I don't know where this installation log has gone, and it was not showing the application which was installed right here. And this is considered to be one of the major bug. And I'll try to uninstall using the program files uninstall application which was given by default, but I couldn't able to uninstall the application here, and I don't know what I'm going to do for this. I'll just try to install. And if you see here, the mouse button, it was just blinking. I don't know why it was happening again and again. So these are some of the major disadvantage which I am considering. So if you see here, it was just blinking again and again. Now it was working properly. I don't know why this was happening. If you see, it was blinking again. I just give agree, install, and now it was installing. The application was installing. Oh no, where it was gone? I couldn't able to see the application here. No, it was just disabled. Oh, it was installing the drivers. So let's see. So it has installed the drivers. Let's see whether, no, still it was not seen in the, just refresh. No, I couldn't able to see anything here. We see there is no Reliance internet. So this is considered to be one of the major disadvantage here. And let's open the, yeah, now I can get the, but still the blinking was not going. And I will also try to remove the device, and I will just insert it again, and let's see what is happening. Whenever I am trying to insert a new device like pen drives, other data cards, it was just blinking. If you see here, so I just, yeah, if you see here, it was just blinking here. So I don't know why this was happening again and again in the Windows 10. And if you see, I'm not also getting the notifications, and it was reinstated. Wait, I'll just try again. I just removed it, and I have just plugged in. Yeah, it came, but I didn't get any notification here. If you see, came, but I didn't get any notification. And if you see, the tower was also not working. I didn't get any signal here. And we go to device manager and scan for the new hardware changes. Still I didn't get any signal here. Just now I have got full tower, but it was not getting any signal. So this is one of the major disadvantages that the Windows 10 is having, and it was not properly getting all the drivers. And each and every time I'm just restarting my device, that is a PC, and I'm installing the application again and again whenever I need it. So this is the problem which I'm facing in the Windows 10. And the next thing is softwares in the sense that is the same category which I'm going to say. So this is the software application. Most of the software application was not working. That is a thing which I'm trying to tell. Next thing is the graphics. So I have showed you that for example, I can show you. So I'm just going to remove this device, and if you see here, you can see the glitches. So if you see, the mouse is also blinking. So I have removed the device and I have replugged the device. So the whole taskbar will just refresh again. I think now, yeah, the whole taskbar just refreshing again. So this is what happening in the graphics. I don't know what version what is the thing which they have developed. I do have a 64-bit operating system with 4 gigabits of RAM, and then go to do a processor with almost 3 gigahertz of the processing speed. And I do have a graphic card here. You see, I have AMD Radeon HD 6670 graphic card. So all these are happening even though, and the UI. So you, when you take the user interface here, it was a good thing, but most of the things are not properly happening. Like in Cortana, while searching for some other thing, and while you try to search again, it was just again opening the Cortana, and I don't know why this was happening, and it was not happening the same. So it was just opening like the tabs. So most of the UI settings are not properly managed and not properly given here. And the start menu also, I can just fully expand it, but it was not expanding. So if you see here, again and again it was making me to do, and it was I couldn't able to minimize the size of the carton or two. I couldn't able to extend more than a particular size. So these are some of the UI interface which needs to be changed, and there are more and more things which I have, but I have no time to say in the video. And the next thing is updates. So one of the major disadvantage I have here, like go to the settings, go to the updates. So if you see here, my device is I'm having the latest updates here. So if you go to the advanced settings, I have the settings which I have optimized here. So I'll just show you the update history, that is what it has happened. So after installing my operating system, I have just updated my I have just tried to update my Windows 10, but if you see here, most of the time it has failed the installation, and it has consumed about 200 to 300 MB for installing the AMD drive on AMD Radeon HD 6670 driver, but it was not installed, and I can't get any detailed information about this thing, that is drivers. It was just simply downloaded about 200 MB, and it was showing that it has failed to install here. And so these are the major things which I am having. And if you see, it was also failed to install the .NET, and it was also failed to install the updates for the Windows 10. Even I have the better internet connection at that time, so I couldn't able to disable these updates. For example, it was just simply installed only 3 updates, but I couldn't able to disable the updates here. There is no other option. It was only having notified to schedule restart. But the only one option which I have is to go to the services. So go to the services and Windows update. I just need to stop the service, then only I can able to disable the updates here. This is the only option which I have. There's no other GUI settings here. So this is one of the major disadvantages, since because it was consuming more and more bandwidth and I couldn't able to browse the web pages too, and the apps are consuming more and more bandwidth and it was not allowing the other apps, that is the Microsoft apps are consuming more bandwidth and not allowing other apps like Chrome or Firefox to browse the web page. And the next thing we can see is the glitches, so which you have seen, like this taskbar is just getting refreshed each and every time when I am plugging some devices, that is a hardware devices, and the Cortana issues on the mouse was getting glitches. And if you see, it was not having a smooth performance, that is you can just visualize it. I'm just getting some black border here, so this is all happening. It was not having a smooth GUI, even though I have a better graphic card, it was not showing good animation here. So these are most disadvantage which a Windows 10 is having. So friends, before installing the Windows 10 or before upgrading your present system to the Windows 10, you just think two or thrice, because it was having more and more problems. I'm working as a system administrator for past 5 years and I'm well versed in the Windows operating system, but I'm seeing more problems in the Windows 10 than the Windows 8 or Windows 7 operating system. So think before while installing the Windows 10 in your desktop PC. And thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you. Bye.